YouTube, what's good with y'all, man? Gniady back here with another video, and it's Christmas time just around the corner, guys. Zero Chill is finally out. I think they released the new levels and stuff like that for the Zero Chill, which is really cool. I'm actually really looking forward to doing those, but beyond that, today we are going to be going over the best defensive scheme in the game through the Chiefs playbook. So I'll be going into practice mode and going over how to run it, what formations to do, etc. And then I'll also go over some gameplay that I have saved, and give you a little breakdown of my thoughts during the game, how to react, and so forth. So yeah, let's go ahead and hop right into it. So I'm going to be the Chiefs. If you're playing online or like through regs or something like that, you'll want to go into your advanced settings right here and change your defensive playbook to KC Reed, which is for Kansas City Andy Reid, and then you'll go into your game with that playbook. Alright, so once you are in the Chiefs playbook, I go to nickel. There's 3-3, and then there is over. So in over, we have cover 3 over Storm Brave, Tampa 2, stuff like that. So these are a couple plays that I might run. When you're in nickel, you can go into you press triangle once you're outside of the formation you want to run. You press triangle for your substitutions, and you can go in and substitute anybody you want. So in Ultimate Team or this, for example, Willie Gay right here, right? You can go down and put in B. Cook. He's a lion. He is a safety. So in regs, putting a safety in for a user is really important because they get better animations, unless the person that you're using there has lurker or is already a safety or something like that, because you want to have those better animations for when using someone. Now, same thing in nickel 3-3. You can go ahead and adjust that. Nick Bolton is a middle linebacker. He's good, but we want to put B. Cook there. Then we can put in Nick Bolton right there. So get the better player on the field. But your middle guy should be your user and your better player. Unless you're running a man blitz or something like that, then you might be using the safeties already. But it's still good to have that user in the middle of the field regardless. So these are the couple of formations that I run in Chiefs. Then if you go down to dollar is really good. DB Fire 2, very good blitz. Spinner is also a really good blitz, but you have to have good corners and safeties in order to lock up the guys you're going against, especially if they have good receivers or you're playing someone at a high level. So we'll go ahead and start off with 3-3, nickel 3-3. This is the formation I run the most. So we'll start with a linebacker blitz. LB blitz 0, go something like this. So the first adjustments I'm going to make is shading down. I go press triangle, press, and then triangle again inside, and then triangle again over top. So these are the types I like to run when I'm playing defense. So kind of looks just like this. It's a very aggressive formation, but I like how it works on defense very well. And this is for, especially if you have good corners or something like that, this will work for you very well. And you can kind of move on from there. So you're going to hike the ball right here, and you get in very quickly. It's called a loop blitz. It's not used as much anymore, but it works well for me when I'm playing online. I don't have a problem with it. And pressing actually can make it a little bit easier. You might be scared to press, but when you shade over top, it actually helps to kind of negate the fact that you pressed and makes their get off the line a little bit slower. So as long as you have some good corners and you're not going against the craziest of receivers with bad corners, then pressing actually shouldn't be that scary. Like I said, as long as you're shading over top. So the next play we're going to go over is cover 3 drop and how I run that out of this formation. So to start off, I like to use the middle linebacker right here, and I like to do some sort of a hard flat on the sides as well. This works well for people who like to hit the flats or quick passes to the running back out of the backfield. Kind of looks like just like this, and if they have too much time, I might even blitz this guy right here like this, and to have an extra guy to send. If they like to roll out, you could even double tap R1 or RB, depending what you're on, to get those guys to come off the edge, etc. Stuff like that. This kind of a formation I might run online. Kind of looks something like this. If they're having too much time, we can even go into nickel over. So you can press square, left on the D-pad, and then go in L1. So now 54 is going to come over here. He's not moving, but he's supposed to be over here. And then he will blitz off the edge just like that. and now you have 4 guys rushing automatically, and it's basically the same thing, but your guys are spread a little bit more. You can even press left on the D-pad and then down on the D-pad, and then that pinches your D-line, which is a lot better at stopping the run. So if you don't pinch your D-line, you might have a hard time stopping the run. Chris Jones has El Toro goal line stuff and under pressure. So inside stuffs and stuff like that are really good abilities to have on your D-line as well that can help you out. But something like this is what I would run mainly out of over. I don't really run many man blitzes out of over. It's more because I want 4 guys to rush. And yeah, that's kind of the look I get out of over. Now out of the dollar formation, it's going to be 200 nickel right here. You can make some adjustments in the middle right here, but normally you're going to have your corners and safeties on the field already. So DB Fire 2, really, really good formation. What I've learned recently is you want to actually press down. You want to press your defense triangle and then down on the left stick to press, and it'll allow your guys to come down. Right here, the two corners blitzing off the edge, it'll allow them to come down and actually get into the backfield faster, because if you aren't pressed, they move backwards like that kinda, and it takes a lot longer for the blitz to get in. So pressing your guys, it can allow for deep shots on the outsides right there, so you want to be aware of what your opponent is running. If they're running a lot of outside streaks, it's probably not the best idea to do that. You can actually go to an audible to spinner right away. Same type of thing, pressing gets those guys in, and I like to shade inside and over top. That tends to work the best for me online. It's a good blitz, and then I would use probably this safety right here. That way you allow the most amount of blitzers to come in. You might have to watch out for the running back. So if the running back is on a route very often, you can use her like Willie Gay, for example, right here, and watch wherever the running back tends to go. But this blitz is very, very good. And like I said, if he doesn't tend to use his running back out of the backfield, then use someone like Justin Reed right here. That way you can, the slowest guy that probably the easiest to guard by a user. And then it allows the blitz to come in, not worry about the running back. So we're going to go ahead and get into some examples of how I've used this online. Right here, I'm running the DB, the LB Blitz 0. So I am now, you see I'm pressing my corners on the outside right there. They're coming down, and I'm shading inside and over top. And now I'm using Eddie Jackson coming down to guard the running back. And they're going to watch, the guys are going to come around. Look at that. Cordell Patterson gets free on the loop blitz, and it makes it have him a hard time to get the ball off quickly. He's going to have to get the ball off quickly, especially with him setting on his running back. He is now losing an extra blocker. So right here, we are now on the goal line, and the goal line defense, honestly, is probably one of the easier times to play defense. You might think that's, not usually the case, but as long as a person isn't very run heavy, it's a lot easier to stop. But what I do is I usually pinch my D-line right there. So my D-line is actually pinched right there. They're not usually that close together. And this is still LB Blitz 0 out of nickel 3-3. And I'm using Eddie Jackson in my main watch right here. So I've also shaded my corner. I've pressed my corners, obviously, shaded them inside and underneath on the goal line within 10 yards. Under 10 yards, I usually shade underneath. That way, because people like to run shallow routes, little comebacks, stuff like that are easier to complete even when you're running man, if your guys aren't shading underneath, because they kind of just sit behind the receiver, making it an easy catch. So shading underneath puts your corners below the receivers, making it so that they pick it off on shallow routes, etc. So people like to send their running back on the out of the backfield right here, maybe an angle route, an out route, a wheel, stuff like that. So you have to watch out for those types of different routes. They're going to try to switch them up and fool you. But I'm going to go ahead and watch Kamara this entire play, and that is my main read. If I do not guard Kamara, he's going to have a touchdown. So let's go ahead and watch. Boom. He throws it. That's a really nice play from Eddie Jackson. He's throwing it to Calvin all the way back there. And he's doing an angle route. I kind of had a bad route on it, but he threw it very early. Eddie Jackson was able to get up. He's not a very, very tall. He's not a very tall safety, but he was still able to get to that. So running in that general direction was a good play for me, and I'm gonna go ahead and get a pick six. Eddie Jackson's able to take it back all the way. He's been playing really, really good for me, even though he's a little bit small and not the fastest player, but he still gets it done. All right, so here is another goal line example, the last one I'm going to show of the video, but LB Blitz 0, it's the most common formation I run. It's really, really good, and honestly, unless you're playing against a really good player, you're going to be able to get away with it a lot as long as you're doing the correct adjustments by pressing, shading outside, inside based off of what routes they're running. So in a look like this, he's in a tight, right? He's in gun tight. You're going to usually want to shade outside because it's more common than not that they're going to run outside when they're in tight. So I like to shade outside, allowing it to cover it well, but if they tend to run a lot of crossing routes in tight, then of course you want to adjust based off of that. You know, use your brain, right? Madden is a thinking game. You're going to have to think and make adjustments based off of what your opponent's doing. It's going to change throughout the game. Every opponent's going to be different. So you can't just go in always running the same exact formation with the same exact adjustments. Maybe you can against bad players, but once you get up to the higher levels, you're going to have to start thinking a little bit more. So on this player running LB0, I'm going to go ahead and eventually get on Eddie Jackson here, right? So this is for the game. He's going to 2-point conversion in overtime to win the game. So I'm going to eventually switch over to Eddie Jackson. He's on the left right there, manned up on number 22. So let's go ahead and watch that. And my primary read right here is 22, the running back. He's going, like I said in that last clip, he's going to want to hit his running back. It's very crucial. So I need to sprint over there, not make it as obvious that I'm going to be over there, because if it's super obvious that I'm be on the running back the entire time, it's less likely they're going to throw it. Sometimes the player might have his mind made up no matter what I'm throwing it, and you're going to get lucky, but you still got to get over there. I get a little bit lucky on this play, as you'll see, but I got bumped, but you still have to get there. I make a nice play. Eddie gets a nice little nice little glitch kind of pick, but I still got there. At first, I thought I wouldn't get to it because I was trying to make it not as obvious, but sometimes you just have to get there because that might be his only read, like I said, and I win the game off of that pick. All right, guys, well, that's going to go ahead and do it for the video. I really hope you guys did enjoy that. Please consider subscribing. We're trying to get 200 subscribers. Leave a like on the video. Comment anything you guys have, any questions, what you guys might want to see next. Gameplays might not be coming out anytime soon. I'm not sure. I'm going to be going home for Christmas, so there might be a little bit of delay between videos. But other than that, I really enjoy being back and making content for you guys. So please hit that like button, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
And I hope everything's well. S1, I was the best one. You thinking way back, you should've kept them. You always question all of my methods. I try to hold you down. I just want you to got a hit.